This is Pastor Randy. I'd like to welcome you here. A very special announcement today, but before that I want to talk a little bit about the Feast of Tabernacles this year. It was such a blessing. We had people come throughout the country. As far, by the way, we kept it in Missouri. We had people come from California, we had people come from Washington, from Texas, and then on the flip side we had people from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, many locations, Florida. It was such a great feast. I just can't tell you the blessing that it was for me and then also for many others. Matter of fact, I had several people come up to me this year and say, you know what, this was the best feast I had ever. And many of these folks, they were keeping the feast for many years. So it was just a huge blessing. Now, part of the news is because of our beliefs, the camp's not comfortable with us coming back, and we're fine with that. So they did not extend our contract, and again, that's fine. One of the things, Elder Allen, we've been talking about is doing it here. And we believe that Yahweh is certainly moving us in this direction. And we believe that this will be certainly a very nice and great facilities for this endeavor. Matter of fact, why don't you come up with me and I'm going to show you the building site. We'll talk a little bit about the building, what we're going to do, and some of the pros, some of the challenges, some of the benefits of all this. So come with me, I'll meet you up there. Or here I am in the upper parking lot near our sign and also just near our campground area. This is where we're going to put the building, and let me talk about the building and maybe the needs for just a moment. We have great facilities. We've been very blessed here recently to add on a fellowship hall, and that's just been a tremendous help. Matter of fact, if we didn't have the fellowship hall, we could never do what we want to do now, and that is host the Feast of Tabernacles here. It's only because of these new facilities that we can even do what we're doing now. But the one thing we are still lacking is, or two things. Number one is an activity center for the kids, a place for them to play and just to have a good time, maybe some basketball. And the other thing we're lacking is lodging. And when I say lodging, now I want to just say this so everyone understands. The lodging we're talking about is very simple lodging, 10 by 10 rooms, no indoor plumbing in the actual rooms themselves, a communal bathroom in this case. But very simple room, almost like you would have in a campsite scenario. So it would though provide for the activities for, again, the children and youth, and also the lodging. So let me sort of show you the area we're talking about. And again, I just want to impress upon everyone watching and listening to this video, we need help. We need your help to make this happen. The ministry has invested and we were putting in $100,000 to make this at least happen right now, but that's not going to be enough. We probably need somewhere in the ballpark of $200,000, maybe a little bit less. We're still looking at numbers, but we certainly know that it's going to be more than $100,000 to get the shell up and just the concrete. So that's something important to just understand, that even just the shell and concrete, not counting the HVAC, is going to be probably above $100,000. So your help is really desperately needed. And we would just hope that you would consider this. So let me show you the facilities and where we're going to put this building. Again, you know, this is our sign. We're in the upper parking lot. And this building, by the way, is going to be 120 by 60 right now. That's the plan. And again, that will give us about roughly, and this isn't exact, but roughly 60 by 60 activity center for the kids. Again, very basic plywood in the gym, concrete floor, that's it. And then some very basic lodging rooms, 10 by 10, sheetrock, one light. Again, very basic, something that people can sleep in, but not much more. So follow me if you would. Well, as you can see, I'm standing here at one of the corners of the building. You can see the orange flag behind me. This building is going to be roughly 60 by 120. Actually, it'd probably be that size. And the gym portion is going to be roughly 60 by 60. I think it may be a little bit bigger than that, but not much more. And when I say gym, keep in mind what we're talking about here. This is a very basic metal building along with a concrete floor. So nothing extravagant. Matter of fact, why don't you come over with me? This is our upper parking lot again. And you can see behind me our campground, and we have a few camping sites and also a few RV sites. We would hope, by the way, to also expand some of the RV sites as part of this endeavor. But again, the building is going to set right here within this space. It is going to be, again, 120 by 60. The gym is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 60 by 60. Now, in addition to that, and this will be phase 2 unless we do receive the funding needed for this for next year, but if not, I'm sort of projecting a 2-year effort for this, but we will have also dormitory style rooms. 10 by 10 rooms for the most part, very small, very basic, sheetrock on the walls and a light, and that's about it. And no indoor plumbing in the rooms themselves. We will have a communal bathroom, which will have a few showers, and also a bathroom for both the men and the women. So again, a very basic structure, but let me give you I guess the benefits and how we'll be using this structure. Number one, we have great facilities, as I mentioned. I mean, just terrific facilities. Our fellowship hall is beautiful. Our meeting hall is very nice. We have other rooms for other purposes. But the one thing we really lack is a fairly large playroom or play area for the youth and also the children. So one of the things we want to do in the activity centers include maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 if room permits, basketball goals, and also maybe volleyball if we can do that. But so again, one of the benefits is this will give a place for the youth and children to go and play, which we currently really don't have. And the problem is, as you can maybe see with our landscape, is we don't have a lot of flat area here. So this is just really an important part and need for the ministry for us to host the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, the other thing this will also provide, as I mentioned, is some rooms. Right now we have some lodging here. It's very limited, so we definitely need some additional rooms, and again, these will be very basic, but you know, we're hoping to get about 24 to 30 rooms in this building, and that will help provide for some of the lodging needs during Tabernacles. And by the way, you know, we can also use this for unleavened bread and also maybe other events throughout the year. We host a few things throughout the year with the other assemblies, so you know, maybe we'll be able to use this for multiple occasions, and I think we will. The other thing we can use this for is this last year we about 170, 80 people that attended the feast, again from multiple states, by the way also from England and the Canada and from the Caribbean. So many people attended, about 170. We've been growing about 30 to 40 a year. So we're projecting here about 200 next year. And maybe more. I think people like the idea of us coming and keeping the Tabernacles, Feast of Tabernacles here in our facility. And our meeting hall right now holds about 160. Now we can use the fellowship hall as overflow, which will be nice, and certainly will accommodate, I think, the group this year. But I can see maybe a few years out, maybe even 2-3 years out, where we're going to exceed the capacity of the meeting hall and fellowship hall. We're going to go elsewhere. So this gym would be a secondary location where we could meet, and in this case, I think it can hold somewhere in the ballpark of 300. So you know, it's going to provide multiple needs for the ministry. Number one, it's going to give the children and youth a place to go and play, which is absolutely crucial for the Feast of Tabernacles. And also long term, maybe 2 years, hopefully 2 years, we'll have the lodging in place, 24 to 30 rooms. And then if we do, and I think it's not if, but when we outgrow our current facilities, meeting hall that is, we can use the gym as the meeting location during the Feast of Tabernacles. So very important to have this building. And again, I would just ask everybody watching this video to really consider just helping us with this cause, donate toward this effort, because this is a real need for the ministry, and I think it's going to be a great feast here. There are so many benefits, by the way, keeping it here. Number one, we have great facilities existing today, with the exception of the activity center, which I've talked a lot about. But in addition to that, just the location of where we're at is really nice. Those flying in from St. Louis Airport, we have a shuttle service, so if you're flying into the feast, we can provide transportation. You simply take MOX, which is a shuttle service from the Lambert International Airport down to Kingdom City or Columbia, and we can schedule a ride for you. We're also very close to Jefferson City, about 10 miles from Jefferson City, the capital, and also very close, about 30 miles from Columbia, Missouri. And beyond that, we're about 2 hours from St. Louis, 2.5 hours from Kansas City, and about 2.5 hours from Springfield. So just a really nice location, very centrally located within the state of Missouri. And it really is pretty here. The land, the geography is just it's very hilly, very picturesque, very scenic. So I think it's going to be a wonderful feast here, and I would encourage you to really think about not only donating towards this fund, but also coming and joining us next year for the feast, because I'm telling you now, it's going to be a wonderful time. You're going to miss out on a very special time if you don't come. So again, consider donating and also consider coming and joining us for next year's feast. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and may Yahweh bless you.